How's it going, guys? Coffee here. Today I wanted to go over my update for the Iris build. I've been very comfortably farming tier 8 stuff. We're still working towards, again, being able to do Profound, as well as being able to do side content for Eterna, things like that. I was able to do Eterna a bit, finally, after making some adjustments. In order to do that, I did end up having to swapped where I'm running a precise elemental resistance. I'm not actually running this for T8. It's kind of unnecessary, but if you do want that extra defenses when you just need to make sure you're not getting kind of one shot, you can. This is kind of the build that I've been running. I can showcase here the damage that I've been getting for my normal, just like T8 setup here, and kind of roughly where we're at. I want to say we end up spiking up to like 9 billion, I guess, after a little bit of ramp. It's like 6.5, 7 billion here, as you can see, pretty early on. So the biggest things that have changed from the build since the last time we looked at it was the I was able to get a new slate, which was helpful. I got a slate with Quick Ritual and Isomorphic Arms. What this meant by getting Quick Ritual on there is this means that I was able to drop the Wind Breath Dispersion Ring. By dropping the Wind Breath Dispersion Ring, it freed up an extra ring slot for me, and I was able to put on another Horn Ring, which added a decent amount of damage. I was able to hit a Dreamcraft on here as well for just some extra damage. We still haven't hit T1s on these mods, so we will want to do that at some point as well. But that's pretty much where we're at. I did hit a little bit of aura effect on my gloves as well, though I don't remember. This may have already been there in the last video. So, yeah, other than that, we hit 96. We're going to end up sitting 96 permanently, I think, at this point. And at this point, the best next step, probably, if I wanted to push, or as I go to push more defense, is most likely going to be ending up swapping to an ES-based build. What that means would be, if we are going to end up swapping the helmet, which we don't really need to do, we can honestly just leave this. It will be basically just swapping the chest for a crafted chest, get a much better crafted chest, and then use that to push the ES, and then we can actually put on an ES ring and actually craft it out instead of running the Horn Ring. Preferably something with growth, but this might honestly need to wait till we have a priceless base in order to do that. So kind of on the fence about how we want to go about doing that, but those those priceless mods are going to be probably the next thing we want to focus on. I do know that some of my viewers were able to make some adjustments to where they actually just swapped their helmet and their chest, and then they ended up going the assassin tree instead in order to take queer angle in order for the lucky damage for minions. And then they were able to pick up again this 18% additional max damage here, along with this lightning pen, and the extra damage they got was actually quite significant. So as well as picking up a little bit of defenses, it just does mean you end up needing to craft a helmet and a chest with some with ES and such on them, and then you do have to hit a Dreamcraft for sealed mana on your helmet. So keep that in mind if you want to go that route. That's kind of entirely up to you. But oh yeah, the other thing I did change as well is I did end up picking up a couple candles for this here. For the every 30 growth spirit, it gets 1% attack and cast speed. Yeah, so make sure you pick these up. Make sure you don't pick up any ones that say you lose AoE. When things are basically, make sure you don't lose AoE when things are whatever, for every whatever it is, because then you will end up running into issues where you are where you will end up getting to the point where your damage will fall off because of things getting outside of the range of Nourish. So it is important to make sure you can hit your things for Nourish there. So again, keep that in mind. If you get these little gambling chips, they're actually kind of nice. These things here, this little hot streak tokens, are actually kind of nice for this if you want to try to hit something max. You can give it a shot. It's they either do nothing, or they will just like fully finish out your energy, or cap it out. There we go. So it actually hits the limit, which is nice for when you're just trying to get a piece of gear and actually hit like the perfect amount of energy on it. It is quite handy. For me, I just want to put an increased AoE on here. So, yeah, basically make sure you get those. Try to get some, again, try to get this mod on candles. The other thing I did end up doing for defenses is I did end up getting a new memory here with +2 to hero trait level. This doesn't need to be this level. I was able to pick this up for 666, I think is what it was. You can just look for any of these. It doesn't need to be the... it obviously doesn't need to be minion attack speed, but that's probably going to be the best one you can get. Unless you have the money to buy one with movement speed on it, which will probably be expensive. So keep that in mind. Yeah, getting this is really nice because it does turn the damage on the additional damage you take from Wind Rider. It lowers all the way down to 10%. So that's really nice. Obviously, it increases your survivability by a ton because without it, you know, taking 20 or 30% more damage is quite significant. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. And other than that, see you in the next one.